Welcome to the Motor on India show. We're going to ask a few questions. Just the first question is, can you talk about to what extent have you progressed in bringing your car here, your massive vehicle into India?
The current status of the project in terms of progress that we've made in getting the IronScorpion to India is we've exhibited it in a competition which was held in South to demonstrate the abilities of the vehicle. In connection with that, we're now showcasing it at the Auto Expo with the hope to address the larger audience, the potential consumers. And going forward, we are going to be exhibiting this at the Defense Expo, which is to target the institutional market, which eventually would be something of area of interest for us. We've also been able to have a localization plan in place, which will help us achieve the localization target that we have for the vehicle, which we believe will be the cornerstone of success in terms of bringing it under Make in India initiative of the government. So we intend rolling it out with high degree of localization in the very first instance.
Okay, before I move on to Dwaine, I need to ask you another question. Can you briefly tell what your backgrounds are? What have you been doing all these years?
Personally, if I was to speak about my background, I've been in the corporate sector for 23 years in a totally different field, which was electronics and telecommunication. But mechanical engineering and automotive engineering was something that I was very passionate about, and I had been pursuing this as a weekend hobby for many years, till about 5 years ago when I got into customizing off-road vehicles for competition and expedition. And I'd set up a company by the name of Servo Motors, which specializes in extreme off-road builds in India. And we've had much success in different formats of off-roading, including building specialized expedition vehicles, which were covered in a large number of media shoots and programs on national television. I would say in my case the hobby has become a profession now, and culmination of that would be to successfully introduce the IronScorpion in partnership with Dwaine, my friend from US.
Dwaine, my question for you is, we are more than 1 billion people in this country. How do you spot just?
It's been a long and evolving relationship that we have been working on for approximately the last 6 years. It started as my buddy and partner, Mr. V.Jaskirat, sent me a cold call about 6 years ago wanting to be involved in the Scorpion. And through that initial call, it's just kind of evolved into where not only have we come into a mutual business relationship, but we've become very close friends, and we've actually become, as what we say in America, brothers from another mother.
Wonderful. Can you tell us about this, the entity you formed to start your business in India? How is it? It's a joint venture partnership. What kind of a business is it?
It's a joint Indian-U.S. partnership in which both entities are directors and controllers of the happenings of the company. The company's name is IronScorpion HMV Private Limited, the HMV standing for High Mobility Vehicles. Its goal is to manufacture the Scorpion platform for the Indian market while concentrating on the Made in India standards and making the vehicle fully road legal and accepted by the Indian government.
Dwaine, back home in the US, what's been your experience making such vehicles, and who are your customers basically?
We have done a lot of work in special projects for the United States government, both for the Army and for general defense use. We've done major demonstrations of proof of concept for the Army, both in ground vehicle capability as well as robotics. The biggest usage of the Scorpion in the United States is for extreme off-road use. Recreational users who like to push the limits of off-road capability. We do have exposure into the industrial market, which the Scorpion is used as power line patrol for electric utility. But majority of the usage of the Scorpion is mainly for extreme off-road recreational use.
Coming back to you, Jas, we've seen your vehicle at the Auto Expo being showcased there. Is that the kind of vehicle which you're finally going to make, or is it going to be toned down? Can you elaborate a bit?
I mean, the footprint of the vehicle that you see at the Auto Expo would be the footprint of the vehicle that we'll be bringing into the country. The essence and the spirit of Scorpion is not going to be toned down for the Indian market, other than the fact that the compliance requirements that the Indian government would have in terms of its specifications, whether it's right-hand drive, any and every safety norm that they impose on us, we will be complying with those. But the general footprint, the general nature of the vehicle would be same as what you see in the Auto Expo. Going forward, there would be some degree of customization for which might involve specific requirements by customers who want some additional features to make it more comfortable, if I may say so. But in all practical purposes, the Scorpion that you see in the United States or in the show today would be the Scorpion that would eventually come to the market.
Who do you think would be your customers in India? Would they be hardcore off-road guys, or would normal guys who love macro-looking vehicles would also be buying your vehicles?
We've been trying to categorize our customers into two major categories: institutional buyers, which would be going forward probably the breadwinners for us, and then there will be recreational users, as evident from the US market, which is the largest segment that is being catered there. Within the recreational market, there would be some hardcore off-roaders who want a vehicle which is truly off-road capable, rather than being adapted to do off-road work, which like most of the vehicles that we have in India. And when we say truly off-road capable, it means the vehicle is capable of off-road, rather than adding accessories which tow it or pull it up different stages, rather than being able to do it on its own. So those will be the customers that we target. And obviously, like any niche market, there would be some customers who will probably buy it for the presence that it has on the road. Driving in a Scorpion even to a 5-star hotel and park it in the porch is quite an attractive proposition to many. So we think we'll have a fair combination of customers of various demographic backgrounds.
So when you say institutions, do you mean the defense forces or officers? I mean, who are these guys?
If I was to draw up a wish list of institutional buyers, I would look at the paramilitary forces. I would look at the defense forces as the long-term main objective, and then there are agencies like National Disaster Relief Commission, which needs to have vehicles which are capable of first response in terms of delivering first aid and support to disaster areas where you have been where conventional vehicles have difficulty reaching. Scorpion can be configured to provide that first response ability. And also to departments like forest, department where you can access remote areas where otherwise it's difficult to reach. And there are individual large institutions like tea plantations, coffee plantations, which are also on our wish list to approach and successfully market this vehicle to.
Typically, just two more questions. Typically, what would be the specs and the price, rough estimate?
In terms of specs, for a typical Scorpion that you see, which is coming with a 5.7 liter V8 petrol engine. Alternatively, we are in consultation with a large diesel engine manufacturer in India, with whom we are hoping to finalize on a 2.8 liter 4-cylinder engine for the more regular use vehicles. These vehicles will come equipped with automatic transmission, very low ratio transfer cases, axles which are capable of handling the kind of stress that is going to be imposed on them, with differential lockers both front and rear. All in all, in every way capable of not only going off-road, but also being able to extricate itself if it gets in a bind which needs to make a recovery. It will have recovery tools available on it. Pretty much the specification which prevails in the United States would drive the specifications that we have for the Indian market. Difficult to put a price on it right now because we are in different stages of discussion with different suppliers for components. Also the associated compliance tests that need to be done, the pricing, the costing of that is still being figured out. All I can say at this point, and I think Dwaine can correct me, the retail price in US for a base vehicle is $81,500, which we would like to definitely improve upon by using the available cost benefits that India offers as a supply base as well as a manufacturing base. And also by bringing it under the Make in India initiative, we hope that we'll be able to leverage certain incentives which can be passed on to the customers eventually in terms of the overall cost of ownership.
Dwaine, is this your first time in India?
As of the Rainforest Challenge, which was the summer of last year, was my first time to India. It was also my first time out of the United States. At 56 years old, I have always stepped pretty close to home. Through this adventure and my total belief in supporting and advancing the Scorpion in its new home, its new market of India, it mandates that I be here to support it and move it through. So India is going to be basically my second residence.
Wonderful. And what's your little impression which you've got about this country? You find it very accommodating and exciting?
Initially, it was a very high culture shock for never being out of the United States. But over my involvement with the Indian people, they're a very open, accepting, and loving people. And I have created a very good like and bond for them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.